Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Thursday, the 5th day of March. This is CTV News. Tonight, the ripple effect. Will the war in Iran impact maritime ports? Wild ride. The seasonal temperature swings prompt warnings and other issues. And a mom on the move. Fredericton mother hopes to push her way into the record books.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. It's already impacted gas prices, and there are growing concerns tonight. The war in the Middle East could soon disrupt our shipping ports. CTV's Jonathan McGinnis has our top story.
It's business as usual today at the Port of Halifax, but eyes are fixed on the conflict on the other side of the globe.
The entire global supply chain is interconnected, so when there's a ripple in one place, it eventually will ripple out to other places.
The U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran has brought shipping in the Strait of Hormuz to a near standstill.
This really narrow choke point waterway is critical to the global economy.
20% of the world's daily supply of oil flows through the 33-kilometer wide passage between Iran and Oman. Following attacks and threats of more from Iran, 200 vessels are now anchored in the strait, many carrying petroleum products or consumer goods.
This higher inflation will impact the end consumer in a whole different number of ways. Costs for travel will increase. Costs for groceries, in terms of the cost of getting groceries into supermarkets, will increase as well.
Prices at the checkout could jump significantly within a few weeks, according to Sylvain Charlebois.
If diesel goes up 25%, coupled with the increase of the carbon tax on April 1st, because that does still exist, the industrial carbon tax, we're likely going to see food inflation go up by as much as 0.7%.
Halifax Port Authority Vice President Paul McIsaac says he's not just watching incoming cargo. Exports could also soon be affected.
We connect with 150 countries around the world, so some of the product goes to that region. 500,000 containers a year pass through the Port of Halifax. Officials here say they're ready and able to increase the amount of cargo the port handles should the need present itself. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
Police in Halifax investigating an unusual shooting incident tonight. Police called to reports of an injured person in the busy Burnside Industrial Park just after 11 o'clock this morning. Officers found a 23-year-old man with gunshot wounds near Wright and Garland Avenues. He was rushed to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators do not believe the incident was random, and they also don't believe the victim was shot at that location. The probe continues. The search for a 21-year-old missing person in Bridgewater ended in tragedy. Finn McDormand was reported missing by their parents Tuesday afternoon. An investigation was launched. Police say the family had concerns about McDormand's well-being because of medical issues. Officers deployed a drone, the K-9 unit, and issued a public appeal.
We located the individual. They were deceased. We treat every sudden death investigation as suspicious until we can determine the cause of death. In this case, like always, we let the medical examiner's office or Service of Nova Scotia determine the cause of death.
In the end, the remains were located by the K-9 unit after a search that lasted nearly 23 hours. Face a judge on assault charges. The director of the Serious Incident Response Team says he believes Constable Charles Bourgeois committed a criminal offense during an altercation that happened back in late November. The officer was charged today. He will appear in court in Sydney on the 1st of May. Police in the New Glasgow area warning the public tonight about a high-risk sex offender living in that community. He is 43-year-old Matthew William Rosins. He's been released under supervision. Rosins was serving time for a number of convictions in Barrie, Ontario, including assault, sexual assault, indecent act, trespassing at night, and criminal harassment. He's also been convicted of different offenses in Nova Scotia, and he's facing fresh charges both in that province And in New Brunswick, Rosens is prohibited from being anywhere near anyone under the age of 16, including parks, playgrounds, and daycare centers. And he's prohibited from owning guns or ammunition. Police say they will watch him closely to make sure he complies with all of those conditions. A Dartmouth man is facing charges after he allegedly shared explicit images with a person he believed was a minor, but who was actually an undercover American police officer. 32-year-old Ryan Richard Lamontagne was arrested yesterday afternoon. Along with photos and videos, police say Lamontagne was planning to travel to the United States to meet the girl. He has been in the news before. In the fall of 2019, Lamontagne was charged with second-degree murder and offering an indignity to human remains after his mother's body was found in the backyard of the cooperative housing unit where the two lived. He was allegedly discovered trying to bury her. Court documents revealed 65-year-old Linda Lamontagne died a brutal, violent death. The judge later ruled Lamontagne could not be held criminally responsible because of undiagnosed schizophrenia. A homeless advocate in Moncton is trying to bring more attention to a homicide investigation that police aren't saying much about. CTV's Derek Haggett has that story.
She was a good person. She didn't deserve this.
The Humanity Project founder posted a plea to the RCMP on Facebook Wednesday night, asking for more information on the homicide investigation. The body of a 39-year-old Moncton woman was discovered in a garbage bin on High Street just after noon on February 15th.
This has been a huge impact on our community, and it's so dehumanizing to take somebody and put them in a garbage can and leave them on the side of the street like a piece of garbage. And she deserves justice, and she deserves better than that.
A spokesperson for the New Brunswick RCMP told CTV News this afternoon that as of now, there's no new information to share with the public. Burrell fully understands it's a police investigation and not all information can be shared with the public, but he says people are scared. He knows who the victim is, but won't identify her.
I'm a father. I'm a human being, and I care about my community. And there are people out there who loved her and who cared about her and who have heard nothing.
Burrell says someone from the woman's grieving family reached out and thanked him for the post. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
After days of protests about sizable budget cuts, Nova Scotia's premier today went on the offensive, insisting the spending reductions will not be reversed. He also accused the opposition leader of organizing a rally demanding higher taxes. CTV's Jesse Thomas has the story.
Why won't the premier actually defend Nova Scotians? Order.
As the speaker called for order, the premier pointed to the $1.2 billion deficit for driving the cuts.
I know that families are dealing with challenging times. So is the government. $1.2 billion deficit last year, $1.2 billion deficit this year. It's not sustainable in the long term. We've had to make some decisions.
There's been plenty of backlash outside the legislature as well. 2 days of protests this week, including a rally against cuts to the arts and culture sector yesterday that saw hundreds of people fill the street outside the Province House. Today, Houston tabled a document that appeared to be a social media post from an arts group who attended the rally, which opposition leader Claudia Chender liked on Instagram.
It has to do with the Raise Your Taxes rally yesterday organized by the NDP and the NDP leaders' support of the raising of taxes.
I did not organize the rally.
The NDP leader called the premier's claims absurd.
The premier is trying to sow division and misinformation. You will see it more and more from him and his ministers as a shield for the trouble they're in and the decisions they made.
To Houston's point, the rally did hear a cheer that called on raising the HST back to 15%. Houston cut the HST to 14%, something that saves the average family more than $1,000 per year, said Houston, but resulted in the loss of $260 million in government revenue. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
A consultant firm is warning unless maritime governments act quickly, they will see billions of dollars in economic opportunity blow right past them. In a new report, Deloitte says time is running out for the region to take full control of what could result in $100 billion worth of economic growth from offshore wind, hydro, and nuclear energy.
And you're thinking about developing the offshore wind industry. Well, what does that mean for industries that can use that electricity? What does that mean for the clean fuel sector? What does that mean in terms of transmission, getting those electrons to market through New Brunswick, through Quebec?
There are growing calls from all sectors of the energy space in Atlantic Canada for improving regional collaboration.
The report notes the energy will have to come from somewhere, with demand in the country expected to double from current numbers by 2050. Environmental groups in the United States and our country sounding the alarm tonight about a U.S. proposal to lift a long-standing speed limit to help protect the North Atlantic right whale. Calling it archaic, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration has announced that it plans changes to the rules that require large ships to slow down in certain areas to avoid collisions with the animals. Officials insist new technology will help the ships avoid the whales. Environmental groups argue this is a huge mistake, noting there are still less than 400 North Atlantic right whales left. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast. We'll meet a maritime woman who's among the scores of Canadians trapped in the Middle East right now. Coming up next, though, seasonal swings.
We try to impress upon people to test the ice before you go on it, especially this time of year.
Warm days and cold nights bring a unique set of issues. We'll tell you about that when we come back. Probably don't have to tell you the outside temperature around here this week has been a real roller coaster ride. But with fluctuating temperatures comes a range of issues and warnings. CTV's Avery McRae has the details.
At the Dominion Park Ice Fishing Village in St. John, just a few huts remain in what was a bustling community less than a week ago. A sign the conditions are changing, like the temperatures.
It's getting to the time that you definitely need to be wary.
Temperatures in the port city hit 5 degrees yesterday before dropping back down to the minuses today, and could then hit double digits next week. Musquash Fire Chief Wayne Pollock says as the lakes soften, people need to be extra prepared when traveling along frozen waterways.
We've been fortunate this year that we haven't had any ice rescue calls. You got to be careful on that, and we try to impress upon people to test the ice before you go on it, especially this time of year.
It has also produced pothole problems. In St. John, the drive around the city is already becoming a bumpy commute, despite the fact the city has already repaired around 750 road blemishes in 2026.
We are working our hardest at this time of year between the snowstorms to fix potholes, but definitely once the first plant opens up with some fresh hot mix asphalt, we'll be going at it very rigorously.
O'Reilly also notes starting Monday in the southern half of the province, spring weight restrictions on trucks come into effect, which will help the pothole plague. As for if this teeter-totter of the thermometer is common for this time of year, CTV Atlantic Chief Meteorologist says it's normal as the spring season approaches and expects more of the same in the weeks ahead.
I typically expect that the month of March we get on that temperature roller coaster where especially during the days we go from above freezing temperatures, sometimes by several degrees, and it's not uncommon that for a span of a couple of days you can even get high temperatures that climb up into low teens for parts of the Maritimes.
Before the nights bring us back to the feelings of a frozen February. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. And speaking of Kaylin, coming up next, he's got your complete maritime weather forecast. It is, in fact, a bit of a roller coaster right now. Cold night this evening. Stay with us. Be right back. Thursday evening, fifth day of March. What a difference a day makes, I'll tell you.
Yes, and tonight could have belonged to a February 5th instead of a March 5th. It's bitterly cold across a good portion of the Maritimes. Little area of high pressure in place, kind of reaching down, centered from over top of Hudson Bay. Generally clear skies around northern, eastern areas of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and the north and east of Nova Scotia. A little bit of broken cloud cover down around the southwest of New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia. And that continues into the start of the day for tomorrow and for Friday's conditions around the Maritimes. Mostly sunny to a fair weather mix of sun and cloud. You'll find a little bit more cloud cover increasing through the day in western areas of New Brunswick and around the southwest of Nova Scotia. Heading into Friday evening, it's partly cloudy conditions, and same thing goes for the overnight hours. We do have some showers in the weekend forecast. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow do change direction a little bit. By the afternoon, they'll be out of the southeast. They'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. A little bit more on the blustery side around the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia, where there'll be some gusts up between 30 and 50. Taking a look at low temperatures in the forecast for tonight, a good portion of the Maritimes can expect lows down in the range of around minus 12 to minus 18. Some into the minus 20s around northern areas of New Brunswick, parts of the north and east of Nova Scotia, away from the coast, and even some interior areas of Prince Edward Island tonight could see some low temperatures down around minus 20, minus 21. In the forecast tomorrow for high temperatures in the northwest New Brunswick between minus 2 and minus 4. In the northeast, mostly between minus 3 and minus 6. A little bit colder there at Campbellton, closer to minus 7. Fredericton tomorrow with a high temperature of around minus 2. And St. John, a high of around minus 2 as well. Minus 4 for Moncton in the southeast. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow, cold day with the afternoon highs closer to minus 6. Mostly sunny. And with the breezy wind out of the southeast, it'll also be colder in Cape Breton with highs of around minus 4 to minus 6 on the north shore of Nova Scotia, between minus 2 and minus 5. And on the eastern shore, most of the high temperatures between minus 3 and minus 5. Minus 5 for Amherst for tomorrow, minus 2 for Truro, minus 3 for the city centers, Halifax and Dartmouth. The Annapolis Valley tomorrow can expect high temperatures near 0. A few parts of the southwest Nova Scotia will see some high temperatures come up between 0 and 2 degrees. For the weekend ahead, we have temperatures that will be rising Saturday through Saturday night and into Sunday. At the same time, though, for New Brunswick, there'll be some showers moving through. Those showers will be clearing through on Monday. Clocks go forward, of course. Mix of sun and cloud in the forecast for Monday. And then on Tuesday, there's a chance of seeing some showers, but otherwise some milder temperatures. A mixture of snow and rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, coming up on Saturday, increasing cloudiness during the day with some patchy drizzle developing. And there'll be light rain and drizzle around for Saturday night and on Sunday. Following up and behind that, though, for Monday and Tuesday of next week, some high temperatures for parts of the province could get up into the low teens with a mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures do get a little bit cooler Wednesday into Thursday with a chance of flurries Wednesday night and a mixture of flurries and showers on Thursday itself. And for Prince Edward Island, the forecast on Saturday, increasing cloudiness with light rain, drizzle developing Saturday night and around into Sunday before it clears away. Pretty fair weather start to next week, though, with Monday and Tuesday both a mix of sun and cloud, and then temperatures, they start to cool off again Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday night could see a mix of snow and rain and a chance of flurries on Thursday itself. Bruce.
Who paid for this roller coaster, hey?
That's right. It's a ride we're all on.
All right, thank you, my friend. Wake up weather still to come. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back. Hope you are too.
#1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Okay, so 6 days now into the war in Iran, and thousands of Canadians find themselves near the actual fighting. Officials say more than 2,000 Canadians have requested assistance from the federal government just to come home. Among them is a Halifax woman who says she's been desperately trying to leave Qatar. CTV's Stephanie Seekos has her story tonight.
Mariam Kareem never imagined she'd be stuck nearly 10,000 kilometers from home. She and her mother left from Halifax last Thursday, landing in Qatar Friday evening.
My grandmother in Iraq, she suffered a stroke
we decided we booked this flight or this trip very last minute, February 14th. Before that, before booking, we obviously checked the news and everything, and there were no travel advisories or warnings to the region.
By the next morning, everything had changed after the U.S. and Israel launched military strikes against Iran. Airspace is closed entirely in Qatar, leaving fewer options available for Canadians like Kareem to get home.
We have been seeing around on the news that UK, US, and France citizens have been evacuated, or some evacuation measures have been put in place for them.
If Canadians wish to leave, we are putting in place options for them to do so, and those options are tailored to the particular country.
When Kareem initially booked the trip, she had a return flight scheduled for March 18th, but she hopes to get home to Halifax sooner.
If we don't get out now, we hope that we can get out by then, at least, to return to our families and our commitments. But I don't know. It's very uncertain, and it keeps escalating minute by minute.
Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Halifax.
All right, time for one final break tonight. Coming up, you'll meet the Maritime woman who's broken an unusual world record with her baby daughter. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at St. John in this Thursday night, just about Friday morning, -7 right now in the Port City. Kaylin will tell you how to dress for the morning next. We are now in Friday morning, and we'll kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather. And Kaylin Mitchell, still need the heavy coat in the morning, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I was about to say, some March mornings, you get away with sort of the spring wear.
Sure.
Other March mornings, it's winter wear still. And Friday morning, it's definitely a winter wear morning. Temperatures starting off for most communities in the Maritimes down in the minus double digits. Some will be close to -20. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud in the morning with a little bit more cloud cover around the southwest of Nova Scotia and some increasing cloudiness through the day for communities in western New Brunswick. The afternoon remains kind of chilly to cold around the Maritimes. Most of the high temperatures will be a few degrees below the freezing mark, several degrees below parts of Prince Edward Island, areas of the north of New Brunswick. There'll be a breeze out of the southeast. Bruce.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, a woman in Fredericton, a mother in Fredericton, and her 17-month-old daughter have achieved something that is likely world record worthy, running the fastest 1K together. CTV's Laura Brown brings us their story tonight.
It's not something Julia Reed Howell set out to do on her maternity leave.
I was just hoping that I would be able to run again, honestly.
Clearly, the avid runner didn't miss a step after having her daughter Winnie. In fact, Julia had a fantastic season last year, crowned Run NB's Female Runner of the Year. But when the season was over, she wondered if there was something else she could work toward.
I was chatting with a group of my girlfriends that would meet up to go running with Winnie in the stroller each week. And we were talking about how there's Guinness World Records for stroller runs. And so that kind of sent me down a rabbit hole.
She discovered the fastest 1 kilometer pushing a stroller at 3 minutes 35 seconds is held by a woman from France. Last weekend, with the help of family, her run team, and of course, Winnie, she made the attempt and outran even her own expectations.
I just felt so elated, like seeing my daughter happy. Like I wasn't even really looking ahead on the track. I could just look down and her feet were wagging and like she was clapping her hands and smiling.
Julia's time, 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
The things she can do when she sets her mind to something, like it's almost like I've become like desensitized to it.
The family is finalizing her submission to Guinness World Records this week. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Laura. That is your late news this evening. If you joined us a little bit late or you'd like to take a closer look at anything you've seen, you know where to go. CTVNewsAtlantic.ca. It is your home for news, after all. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. I do hope to see you again tomorrow.